Hey guys, it's Joe here, and I am here with a card pull for the new moon. So tonight's the new moon today, and so I've asked for two cards for the collective. So you don't have to pick A or B. They hopefully something between one and two will totally strike a chord with you. And I have done this once already because I recorded it and I channeled the message and then went to posted and realized that the microphone was off and there was no volume. So I'm not going to channel it again. They told me when I said, oh, should I channel? And they're like, no, just tell them, explain what came through. So I'm not doing the direct channeling today, but they were both channeled. Okay. So the first card is do nothing. Oh, yes. So these are from the Moonology deck. Love this card deck, and I do it for all the moons by Yasmin Boland. Okay, so the first card is do nothing. So it was very much around the stop striving. The invitation is the pushing, the striving, the do, as is in our human nature, is not getting us anywhere. And there is so much collective energy on the planet right now in this forward motion. And it's just gaining momentum, but going nowhere. Oh, I like that. Gaining momentum and going nowhere. So the invitation is to stop, just stop, take a breath, stop the doingness. There was also like this, almost like a pressure cooker. You need to let the steam out because our striving, doing, and always staying in motion, always being entertained, always being thinking, it's like we've come to the boiling point. We've filled up with this energy that has to be released. When we stop for a moment and we can feel that energy that is like bubbling up and overflowing, we panic and go back to the doing and try and ignore it again, try and put that on the back burner. What's going to happen is we're going to blow a casket, blow a gasket. And so they're inviting us to take time to, if we're going to do something that lets out that energy. Take a walk, dance in your kitchen, stomp your feet, shake yourself, like just do something that releases some of that energy. Watch something super funny, watch something that makes you cry, do something that alleviates some of that pressure. So then we can like actually breathe. And when we stop and pause for a few moments, we're not trying to ignore or run away from all of this energy that's happening in the world. It's the striving that is holding us back. When we slow down long enough, we get inspiration. And that project or challenge at work or that to-do list that never seems to end at home, suddenly we get an inspiration. We get a connection to source. We get connected to other people. We listen to our gut. We listen to our heart, to our intuition, which will help line us up and make the to-do list shorter. We will find an inspiration. So the doingness is wasting time. And if we took that time and just paused, we keep saying, well, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to take a break because I have all this to do. So it feels to our human self counterintuitive to take a 20-minute break and meditate or go for a walk or listen to great music or do some automatic writing or some journaling, because we think we don't have enough time to get all the doingness done. In fact, taking those 5 minutes or 20 minutes will so transform the rest of the list that some of it will disappear. Other things, people will come in, you'll find inspiration, answers will come, people will line up, synchronicity will assist you in getting the stuff that actually matters done. If it doesn't really matter and you're wasting all your energy and time trying to get it done, it's never going to get done anyways. No matter how much we push and shove and strive, things that are not meant to be will not happen. So we are push, push, push rather than just allow the flow. Oh, I like that. Okay. So that was the first card. I hope that makes sense. It was just like this real strong iteration of like, we promise that if you take the time to connect, the doingness will take care of itself. They know that we're here on the planet as a human to do things because this is where you do shit. This is where you do stuff. And they don't want to take away from that. And the best way to do things is by following your gut, by following your intuition, by, yeah. And we keep trying to do stuff on our own. We keep trying to do things by ourselves and get it done, be super person. And in actuality, we are designed to do it together. The planet is designed for cooperation and collaboration, not for independence as we see it. Okay, so that was the one for the first one. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, card number 2 this time, abundance. And this one was amazing for me. This was like, I could just about see that they were like, listen up, Joanne, this one's for you. Okay, so they started out by saying that this is, believe it or not, the most abundant time on our planet in history. There is more than enough food to feed every single person on the planet. There is more than enough money to help people feel abundance and thrive all over the planet. There is enough of everything that we need as a human to thrive and flourish and do all that. We have this abundance. What is stopping the feeling of now? Okay, so we have more abundance on the planet than ever before for everything that we need. The flip side is that there is also the highest feeling of lack on the planet than has ever occurred before. So more people feel lack, feel that they're missing something. And this feeling of lack is what is stopping the feeling of abundance. Now, hang on. What they said is that, so this feeling of lack, this something is missing. So so many humans have this feeling of there's something missing. And in so many societies, not in every single one by any means, but in a lot of societies, we are trained from a very young age to think that when we feel like something is missing, we need to fill it with something. So that's why, we have very long lists for Santa at Christmas. That's why we want a bigger house or a better house or one with a better view. And we have this feeling that if only I could get whatever it is that needs to fill that, and they call it a bucket. So it's like you're carrying around this bucket of emptiness and you're trying to fill it with things that won't fill that bucket. It's like we put them in and it's, Mary Poppins bag. It's like they just disappear into the bottom. So it's like the house with the green shutters goes in and it doesn't fill it. The new car goes in and it doesn't fill it. The new clothes go in and it doesn't fill it. The Amazon package arrives and it doesn't fill the bucket because we're trying to fill that feeling of lack with things that won't fill it. What is actually missing for us is why we showed up on the planet. It's that the journey of remembering. So what's missing is our connection. They kept saying it, our connection to spirit and source and self, the connection to source and self. So what is missing? What fills that bucket that we're walking around with feeling lack? is the only thing that's going to fill it is this connection, our connection to source and our connection to self. And we came back as a human to do the journey of remembering, which is to reconnect to source and self. That's why it's like that feeling of lack was put in there on purpose so that we would search for it, so that we would look for what will fill that lack. We got sidetracked along the way and keep trying to fill it with things that don't feel abundant. We're looking to fill the feeling of abundance with things when in actuality, it's the connection to source and self. Now, they wanted to be very clear that they understand that the physicalness of our planet is also why we came back as a human. So to experience the physicalness of our planet. So there is nothing wrong with cars and houses and trips and clothes and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that it won't fill the bucket that we keep trying to fill. When we get this connection to source, when we have a deeper connection, a conscious connection more often during the day, like several times a day, maybe not just that 20 minutes you do your meditation in the morning, but several times a day, you check in, connect in, tap into your higher self and source. The more often we do that, the fuller we feel, which means we're filling up our bucket, the less we feel lack, no matter what is going on around us in our physical environment. So whether you, don't have extra money for going out for dinner. Maybe you just barely scrape by and get your rent and your groceries paid for. But there's less of a feeling of lack. You relax a little bit more, and suddenly the physicalness of the planet start to flow in easier. Also, a point that they wanted to make is very clear that when you start to fill up that bucket, you gain clarity on what it is that you actually want that fuels your growth and expansion and connection, and the things that don't. So we always want things because we think the having of it will make us feel better. But we're kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what will stick. It's like, oh, because and I've said this recently to a client, we were talking about it, and it's like, you want that new coat, or you want that new car, or you want to be able to buy name brand cereal, whatever. And when we get it, we think, oh, it was good for a moment, but it was just kind of like a flash, and then that's it. There's no sticking power to it of feeling full, because that's not what's going to feel like. That's not what we actually crave. We crave that connection to source, that connection to ourselves. So when you have that, suddenly you gain a lot of clarity on what it is you actually want or desire, rather than just trying to fill up the bucket with anything that looks shiny and sparkly. Yeah. So your want list shrinks down a lot when you start to fill up your bucket with what is actually feeling good in your life, what feels abundant in your life. So then you can really concentrate on, like, you know what, I don't need the new car or the new house, but what I really want is travel. Like, maybe that is it. Maybe it's, I don't care about the travel, and I really want a place that feels like home, that feels secure, that feels, whatever. So you will gain clarity on what actually matters. You'll have better priorities and be able to take inspired action rather than the doingness of the first one that is simply filling time and running away from that feeling of overwhelm. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, or several nuts. Yeah, so that is the new moon inspiration for this month. Thank you for being here. And all of this coincides completely perfectly with this month's theme in Expanding Joy Community, which is the Great Awakening, and how it is a personal adventure. And we've heard about the Great Awakening a lot, and it will be coming up a lot more in the months and years to come. But yeah, so if you're interested in having that conversation and getting some more clarity for yourself, by all means, check out the link below for the Expanding Joy community. We would love to have you join us. That's it. Thanks, guys. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you again soon. Mwah.